Short introduction to myself, ShortDot, and today you have now had several presentations talking about how to become a registry, applying for a new extension, and thereby become a registry. And I will try to talk a little bit about what it is like to be a registry, and what do we see as important, and what have we learned as operating a registry. So I've been in the, as Tess already said, in the domain industry since '99, so 25 years in the domain industry. I worked on the registrar side and also now almost 8 years on the registry side. On the registrar side, I worked both on retail, reseller, and also the corporate branding part. And a lot of that learning, of course, we took onto the registry, ShortDot. Out of ShortDot, we have some new ventures that we started off the last couple of years. One being Web United, which is all about mirroring Web 2 domains onto the blockchain. This is a joint venture we have with Freename. You have seen a presentation from them earlier today. We also have a venture called Nikki, which is a payment processor. You can actually go to NameSilo today, and if you pay with crypto there, you'll be using Nikki. Nikki is not just about payments, it's about much more. And Thomas, that is coming there, he is our lead singer in Nikki, so he can tell you much more about that as well. We also have NameBlock, which is a blocking service. Most of you might be familiar with traditional blocking service, which is normally for trademark holders and large companies. But NameBlock is actually also for individual and startups that come up with a new name they want to protect and block. We have built a product called Abuse Shield. You can test that out at Dynadot, for example, and see how that works. But today we are mainly going to talk about ShortDot and who is ShortDot. It was founded in 2017 by myself and two fantastic friends. The first acquisition that we did was .icu. We did not apply back in 2012 because we were too busy running a registrar back then. So we acquired .icu in 2017 and then launched it in 2018. Today we have over 3.5 million names under management. You can see the extensions here, .icu, CU, .bond, SBS, CFD. The name of the company, ShortDot, comes from us believing in short and easy to remember domain names. And you can see that's the characteristics of the names we have. We also run two extensions that we do not own, but that we run and manage. You could basically say we have adopted them into the family, and we run them as if it was our own extensions and bring them to market the same way as we do with our own. We, as a company, have a very strong focus on the registrars that we believe is the key to success for any registry, the cooperation partnership with them. You can see some of the registrars that we work with here on the slides today. Fantastic companies like Namecheap, Porkbond, NameSilo, Dynadot being here today also, some of them. We act with them in a very strong partnership. We support the registrars with what we call hyperlocal, customized marketing content for them. We really try to understand what is their needs, what is the needs of the clients, where are they, who do they sell to, who is their audience, and then produce relevant content for them. Our team is spread around the globe, working locally with the registrars. For example, in China, China is a more complicated market in many ways because there's compliance that we need to fulfill with having local company, having local employees, and also every name that we register through a Chinese registrar needs to be mirrored on a server in China. So we need to have servers in China as an extra complication. It's a huge market, fantastic registrar like Alibaba that we love working with, and we have expertise on the ground in China to do so. We need that. If you want to work in China, I can recommend you to get local expertise to work with you there. We have Christian here. Isn't that great? As I said, we work on a global scale. but we try to localize everything we do together with the registrars. That has been our focus the last 2 years. We were very, I would say, general in our marketing, trying to promote everything, the same thing around the globe, and started seeing, hey, the trend is going more and more to local marketing content. So examples here, with Namecheap, for example, we've done great billboard campaigns on the Times Square. Namecheap has a huge audience in the US, so it makes a lot of sense with Times Square. With GMO, which is a Japanese company, very interesting company, by the way. I heard a story about their founder, made a 55-year plan for how GMO should grow. And they're now 25 years into executing that plan. And they're still following that plan. They sit on 80% of the market, internet market, basically, in Japan. And we are now creating influencer videos explaining what are new extensions. We see it as a fantastic opportunity that great content creators like Christian here are creating content, because it's easier for them to explain what is a new domain name extension. They have 30 seconds or 1 minute to do it, but they can do it. And people start getting it, and it also puts people behind a new extension. Whereas 2 or 3 years ago, it was very much on paper, banners, promotions, low pricing, and all of that. We can start to create more value now. And we are, for example, doing that very successfully with having Christian producing videos explaining what is premium names and what can a new extension do for you. Well, a new extension can do exactly the same for you as any .com can. And it's much easier to remember. We have here Taylor.icu. So good examples of that. We have Lee, who is actually a Netflix star and a model. He uses Lee.cfd and produces videos about fashion, of course, and how CFD can be used. And we promote that together with our registrars. So back to the partnership. Yeah. As a registry, we use this a lot. And I think this is a good advice for any business, any startup especially, is nail it and then scale it. Because there's so many things you can do in all these different countries, different big size registrars. Some of them will come with fantastic suggestions to you. Give us $1 million here and we will do that. Well, you can go ahead and do that, but then you don't know the results. It's also very hard to do research because it's new land. Nobody can show you, oh, if you do this and this and this in Japan, then you'll sell that many domains. If you do this and this in the US, you'll sell that many domains. It's very hard. So we learned and we implemented this, what we call nail it and scale it. Or sometimes I even say fast forward to failing, because then you learn. Explaining, saying, let's test 10 different things. Say over a year, we test 10 different things with a registrar. We'll find out that 8 of these things did not work, but we found 2 that do. And then we scale on those. We invest more on those too. And we didn't invest heavy in the other 8, so no harm done, but we learned. We then try to take that concept to the next country or to the next registrar. And so we learn a lot, and so do the registrars and the team as well. So it's a very practical and easy way to approach the cooperation with registrars. It's very old school, very simple, but the most important thing of creating a successful registry, it is account management. It is creating the connection with the registrar, having that partnership. We are also so lucky that today many of the people at the registrar have become friends. It's not just partnerships, it's also friends. We go out on the nice events we have. And of course, you establish a personal connection. And business is, no matter what, better done with personal connections. And we do that, of course, with fantastic events like this, where we can meet with our partners in person. We have weekly meetings, monthly meetings, also what we call audits. So we look back at saying, okay, exactly from Nail It, Scale It, those 10 things we did the last 6 months, what had an impact, positive impact, and what did not? So do we repeat? What do we repeat? What do we do new? What more can we do? What new products are you bringing out that fits well with our extensions? So there's a lot of communications. And this is basically, we as a ShortDot, we do not run our own backend, for example. So we are 90% sales and marketing team and some compliance as well that we need to do, of course. And this is what the team focuses on. You can see us here in some of the events that we are going to, which is the ICANN, the NamesCon. Basically, any domain event there is, we will be present in some form. Now, looking a little bit into the future, Stuart, who, by the way, I think is a fantastic speaker, I must say, very impressive, Stuart, talked about the Spice Grannies. I think, do they have a connection with ICANN? Whenever ICANN does the next round, they go on tour? Well, let's look a little bit of on what will AI and domains, what will happen to domains. If we look at it right now, in 24, is already a year ago, more, already 51% of all internet traffic was generated by AI. In 2025 April, every new website created, 75% of every website created had AI content in it. I think by now that we're in August, it's probably closer to 90%, or 95%, or 99%. I could not imagine now creating a website without putting AI content in. I don't know who could, but only a few. Gartner predicts that in 2026, or 20% of all online transactions will be done by AI agents. I personally believe that number will be much, much higher in 26, because we are seeing accelerating growth at a pace now that we've not seen before. So I think we can all agree AI is not at a level, it may be there, we are experimenting. No, I think everybody here is using it now and seeing how it is speeding up things. Personally, I think it's fantastic. I think we're seeing so many great things coming. In health area, people using it for mental health, using it for physical health, and so many other fantastic things. I think we are welcoming a new species to the world, and a species that will grow much faster than the humans. And that species will need domains, because domains are the trust, are the anchor of the internet. And if we look a bit at the numbers, saying that these are some predictions by AI itself, saying that by 2030, we will have 500 billion connected devices to the internet. We will have, in 2055, billions of domains as well. And it's realistic to say that in 2050, we will have between 10 to 50 billion domains. Now, this is pretty good timing from ICANN, you could say, coming in with a new round. And how do we see, why do we see this speed? I think a very simple and practical example was yesterday when I got this presentation. It's made by our fantastic marketing team, of course. I just ran it through ChatGPT and say, hey, can you check this presentation for me and see if there's any errors, any edits, anything I need to add? And I monitored and took little 20 seconds for ChatGPT to come back to me, going through this full presentation, point out 2 errors, and give 10 new suggestions. 20 seconds. Any human being I would give this to, even the smartest, it would take at least 20 minutes to half an hour to do. So we are operating at 100 times speed now. And this is how the speed we will see the internet, we will see companies move with, we will see this new species move with. And internet, we believe, is still going to be a significant part of this. An idea to see is that domains could actually be the birth certificate for any AI agent. And of course, it could also be the one takes off the AI agent, still controlled by human beings, takes off the AI agent off the internet by taking down the domain. DNS is the backbone of trust. I also several times mentioned the fantastic partners that we are working with. We are only allowed to work with ICANN accredited registrars, like Freename sitting here, newly accredited registrar. And the reason for that is, and that has created the trust. And very often I think about the trust level that we have to these guys are amazing, because they basically provide 99% of the infrastructure that any online business or individual uses today. They basically could access our emails, our cloud documents, anything, because we use these guys for anything. And I believe that those are also this is the right channel to bring out new products to SMEs, individuals, the new structure of companies that we will see, saying this is an agent with a domain. So we know where it comes from. It will create the same trust as it has created for websites. Would you go and buy something from a subdomain? No, you don't. You go and buy something from a domain. I think we will be operating AI agents and using them if they have a domain. That creates the trust. We know it's gone through some kind of process. So, recapping. It's already reshaping everything right now, and it will just go faster and faster because the speed of growth is faster now. It's fantastic timing from ICANN with this 26 round, and the questions we need to ask ourselves, quite simple to answer. Will the internet exist in 30 to 50 years from now? Most definitely will. Will domains be part of it? We strongly believe. Will ICANN do another round? Stuart pointed it out well. It could be, it could not be. Maybe it will be the daughters of the Spice Girls, and then they will do a world tour and ICANN will do another round. We don't know. So we definitely see it as one in a generation opportunities. There are some senior guys in the business like me and Stuart where it's the second time. But for most people, this is one in a generation. And with the speed we're moving in, super interesting. Stuart went into details on the applications. I don't want to go into details on that. I think it's been mentioned several times today. It is, of course, the big thing in the domain business is the next round. One thing I do want to point out, which I think is super important to think about if you're thinking about creating your own registry, is the opportunity in premium names. Every string, you as a registry can set your own premium names. Meaning, let's say you get .coin. And now you can start defining some premium names on that. Bitcoin.coin, A.coin, A.crypto if you get .crypto, of course. So thinking about the business model here, saying, okay, you create a list of maybe several thousand, 10,000s of premium names, but in reality, if you bring out 1,000 of these names out to market, make them, sell them, basically sell them, right? Get somebody to renew them, not somebody, a business, to renew them every year for $500. I don't think $500 for crypto.coin is a lot of money per year. You do this 1,000 times, and now you have 500,000 US dollars in recurring revenue stream. That is a serious amount for any business or any individual. And this is the opportunity, one of the important opportunities, I think, to point out in a new extension. We have focused a lot on that in ShortDot the last 2 to 3 years, and we are now seeing that half of our renewals are basically coming from premium names. What's ShortDot's coming to an end here? ShortDot's role in the next round, a little bit different than many others, I would say. Of course, we can do the application for you. If you say, hey, I want an extension, or our company wants an extension, we can do the application for you. But that's not our main focus. Our main focus is the model as we use it, for example, with .bus, where you may have a fantastic idea, your company have a fantastic idea for an extension that you want to apply for, but you do not want to run it. Well, then we can do that. We will do the application. We will adopt it into the ShortDot family, so to speak. We will run it, put it out through our distribution channel, and bring it alive, have fantastic influencers like Christian, make videos about it, explain what it can do, create the premium list for you, and then you can be completely in the background, or you can be in the front. We don't really care, but we will run it. The third option is quite simple. We have now created a new company for ShortDot, where we will be applying for around 100 extensions in the next round. And we are now inviting partners, friends, families, not families, partners in to be part of this partnership. And as said, we will then be applying, our goal is to apply for around 100 extensions. And this, we're open for talks here. So if you want to own a part of the internet, then yeah, come to us, have a chat. Any questions? Thank you very much.